Hello you guys and welcome back to our channel. My name is Jasmine.
This is Valentina. Hello.
And today we're just gonna do a collaboration video and we're actually just gonna be asking each other questions. You guys know that I actually started this series a couple months on my channel where I love to have women entrepreneurs come on and just talk about their journey. So I figured, let's do a collab so that way we could make her start her YouTube channel. And then that way you guys can get to know us more. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And before we ran on, let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey CEO, are you a service-based entrepreneur struggling to generate leads? I want to show you the exact framework I use to create content that converts your audience from following you to clients that are ready to pay you. I will teach you everything on how to grow your personal brand, how to create content that engages with your audience, how to create the copywriting that keeps your audience interested on your posts. All you have to do is text me GROW to 513-516-7332. Again, text me GROW to 513-516-7332. See you on the other side.
Hi everyone, my name is Valentina. I'm 22 years old. I'm a photographer in the Arizona East Valley, and I also work with Jasmine at the Elliott Group. So yay for women entrepreneurs.
And how did you get to Arizona?
I got here to Arizona a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. I moved here from Iowa. I grew up in Iowa most of my life, but I wanted something better for myself. Do you refer to yourself as a social media manager, or what do you tell people you do exactly?
I refer myself to a social media strategist, and the reason for that being is because social media management is only one of the skills that I do under being a social media strategist. So for example, for you, I don't know if you've thought about this before, but I would honestly call you a production, specialist, or some kind of like production engineer. And then under that, one of your roles would be videography or would be photography. Because I think that there are so many skills under our expertise, but sometimes we don't realize how we're so good at like a broad expertise area because we cling to one thing. And the reason I say that is because I used to always say I'm a social media manager, but the difference between being a social media strategist and a social media manager is that a social media strategist does more than social media management. Social media management is when you just create content, you post, you do engagement, all the normal things that involve social media management. Social media strategy is more so you're educating people on, why is this important? You are educating people on, what is social media marketing? A lot of people don't really understand social media marketing, or they don't really understand how to do engagement. So it's a lot of consulting that goes into place, but it's also creating like a map or a roadmap of how are we getting there. Because a lot of people can take somebody's account, they can say, well, send me your content, I'll manage it for you, I'll post it. But what ends up happening is that their content doesn't perform because they're just posting random content. A social media strategist looks at the psychology behind it and says, well, why are we posting this? Is this evoking emotion? What do we want our audience to feel when we post this piece of content?
You already explained why it's so important for what you do with the strategy and the psychology behind it. One thing that I feel as a new business owner, with just going into it and really getting into the nitty-gritty of managing social media, can you explain to people that wouldn't know what is organic marketing?
So there's a difference between organic and paid marketing, and it's very simple. Organic marketing is when you create content and then you post it on your social media, but you're not putting any money behind it. Paid ads, or paid content, you could say, is content that maybe you put on Instagram, you put on Facebook, but on the back end, through Facebook Suite or through Facebook, you spend money in order for that content to reach more people. So that's the only difference, is that a lot of people want to get the results faster, so they end up spending money on ads. And then ads show up on Google, on YouTube. There's so many different platforms that you can invest money on ads.
There's influencers out there that give advice to business people or business owners, and they're telling them that they don't have to worry about posting on social media every day, that they don't need to worry about the stories or just the daily grind of posting content on their social medias, that if it's not working for them, if they don't like it, it doesn't have to be for them, that they don't have to worry about it, what would you tell those people? Because you are a social media strategist, you know the importance of it. And so having these influencers telling business owners that they don't have to do it or worry about it, what would you tell those people?
Yeah, well, first I would look at who is telling you that advice, because 9 out of 10 times the people that are telling you not to worry about it have gotten to a place where they don't need to worry about it, correct? So to answer your question, it really depends on where are you on your journey. If you're a new entrepreneur and maybe you're just trying to get some visibility out there, nobody knows you, then yes, I would be posting on social media, because that's going to be the quickest way for you to reach new people and to make new relationships and connections. Another side of the story to it is, maybe you've been posting a lot of content, you have clients, you already have revenue coming in through the door, then maybe necessarily you don't have to post as much, but I would still be posting because you want to build your brand up. The minute you stop posting, people forget about you. And then the minute people forget about you, people forget about your business. So that's why I highly, I always, tell everyone, like, shoot your content, because you can use it in so many ways. And I oftentimes come across entrepreneurs who are feeling burnt out, and they're like, I just don't have time to post on social media, and like they don't even want to post anymore. And I get that, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, like, what is more important to you? Is it more important for you to spend an extra 5 minutes before you go to bed and create that piece of content and post? Or is it more important for you to go to sleep early, but then the next day wake up and wonder, why haven't you gotten any leads? Why is your business not growing? So at the end of the day, it's all sacrifices, and it's really, learning where do you want to put your energy into. To answer your question, also going back to the influencers, there's also another side to the story where you shouldn't be posting on social media unless you've actually achieved something. I've seen that a lot of people just like to post and give advice, and their advice doesn't pertain to everyone. So that's why I said you have to take everything that you see on the internet with a grain of salt. Ask yourself, does this really apply to me, or maybe it applies to somebody else? Because I've done that where, I'm just like you guys. I see so many social media posts on social media every single day telling you don't do this, don't do that it becomes overwhelming, and then you're like, I don't even know who to listen to anymore. And so when you get to that place, I would honestly say take a step back from social media and ask yourself 3 things. What is your brand? Like, what was the message behind your brand that you wanted to start? What are the results that you've been able to prove? A lot of people also don't like to post because they feel like they haven't been able to prove results. But I always tell them that it's not always about results. Social media started as a platform for people to connect with other people. Think about Facebook. I remember when my family got Facebook, it was because they wanted to connect with family members that were in Mexico because they couldn't text them. So when you're feeling doubt, or when you're feeling like, maybe I don't have anything to prove to them, go back to the connecting piece. Well, you're trying to create your social media presence because you want to connect with more individuals. Maybe more individuals feel the same way you do. They're starting a business, they have no idea what to start, they have no idea what to post. You could create a simple reel based on that. We could create like a reel right now with just B-roll of us shooting this podcast or this interview, and then on social media I can make a reel out of it, and I can put like point of view when you started a business and have no idea what content to post, and so many people would resonate with that. So I think it's always thinking outside the box, but I would always say grow your brand as much as you can, because it's always going to be one of those things where I always think of it as protein now. The more protein you eat, the more gains you're going to make. Obviously, they're not going to happen overnight, but the more that you do a little bit every single day, the more it adds up.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your answer. This is a really good one. What challenge have you personally had with growing your social media account?
That's such a good question. So a challenge that I think I've said before on my social media that I've been like pretty open with is that a challenge is sometimes not seeing the numbers when they're supposed to be there. And I think for a lot of creators that can get to our head because we automatically link out there through your content. The more that when people look you up by your name, the more you're gonna show up. So I would say, you know, just be very, very patient and be consistent, because I remember when I was like super, super consistent with my reels, I was getting 4,000 and 5,000 views. And then the minute I stopped being consistent with my reels, they dropped to 500, 1,000 views. So I would always take views with a grain of salt. And that's one of those things where, you know, it's a metric, you know, and it's helpful for us to judge ourselves to see, you know, is this content performing well or is it not? And as amazing as those metrics are, sometimes they can hurt us, because they can hurt our confidence, or they can hurt us and we get in our head and then we don't want to post anymore. So to answer your question, that is one of the challenges I'm going through, where, you know, sometimes I post content and I'm like, the numbers are not there. But I always have to take a step back and remember, how is this impacting one individual? Like, can it help somebody's life? Can it help change somebody's thoughts? And as long as I'm doing that, that's all that matters.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey CEO, are you a service-based entrepreneur struggling to generate leads? I want to show you the exact framework I use to create content that converts your audience from following you to clients that are ready to pay you. I will teach you everything on how to grow your personal brand, how to create content that engages with your audience, how to create the copywriting that keeps your audience interested on your posts. All you have to do is text me GROW to 513-516-7332. Again, text me GROW to 513-516-7332. See you on the other side.
When like lighting, was this something that you were always good at, or did you learn it, or how did you pick up this skill? Because I feel like you're so good at this.
Thank you. I do have to admit that with a lot of my photography, I've been self-taught with how to pose people and taking advice from other photographers, other mentors, and not necessarily going to photography school, but from any mentor I can find, whether it's online or in person, any advice that I can get, I take it to heart and try to implement it if it resonates, of course. So with posing, being a woman, the number one thing that I always try to do is the roles that we don't want to show. If I see those roles, I know that my clients are going to hate those pictures. Even if all the colors are beautiful, if the outfit is popping, if there's roles showing, they're not gonna like it. So that's my number one thing when I'm posing people, especially women, is I try to move their body in a way so that the roles aren't showing, where their body is its most flattering, curvilicious in the right places.
I love it.
And so that's my number one thing. And by doing that and having the least role showing as possible is how I get most people loving their pictures, saying, oh my gosh, you did so amazing. You made me look so good. I get that a lot. So that's my number one thing, is hiding those roles and moving your body in a way that makes you feel confident, so that you're not looking back and thinking, oh my gosh, I wasn't really that like bloated or something. So that's my number one thing in posing people. And with men, it is a little bit different. I try to get their best angles, whether it's their left side or their right side. I ask them just so that I know that as long as that person is feeling confident in the poses they're doing as well, that it's going to reflect in the picture. So it's not necessarily going into all the big science of it. It's just about having the person feel confident so that it'll reflect back in the pictures.
And I noticed that you're also so good with like the little details and like the lighting. Again, was this something that you learned, or, you know, are you just so good with like details?
No, I'm actually, nobody is born perfect, especially with photography. When you're getting started and you're an amateur, you think your photos are popping, but then when you're looking back at the work, and especially reflecting like a few months ago, you're going to be very critical from a photographer point of view, where like, oh my gosh, I could have improved on the lighting or even the angles of it. But with the lighting, for me personally, it's been really about taking the time to invest in my education as a photographer. When I see courses out there, I purchase them. I'm willing to invest in my business to learn how other photographers make their pictures like higher quality. And so even if it means having to learn how to shoot on manual instead of on automatic, I have to go through the process and learn the skills so that I'm able to get the best out of my camera.
Why are headshots so important to business branding?
Thank you for that question. So headshots are very important whether you're a business owner or you're in the corporate world, or even if, for example, you don't have a job, you're a stay-at-home person, whatever, because what you look like is first of all, it's your first impression. So for example, you say, I don't have a job, I'm a stay-at-home grandma or a stay-at-home mom. You want at least a headshot so that as the years go by past, you can look back and remember exactly what you look like instead of just on like filters or selfies. You know, a nice good headshot for your family to remember you by and have a good portrait of. Now, if you have a business, it's even more important, because when people click on your business profile, the first thing they see is you. And even if you're the best person in the world, if you have a bad headshot, that's automatically going to give you less points. So if you have some beautiful headshots with you smiling, it's going to give you the best representation of yourself. And so getting those headshots updated, posting continuous photos of you, not just like you take a headshot 1 year ago or 2 years ago and then you're not posting pictures of yourself for your clients to see you. There are studies actually that every like third post, for example, people at least need to be seeing your face so that they can keep you present and know who you are and be connecting with you as an individual. That's why headshots are so important.
Wow. Important poses that you would recommend for somebody that's like, you know what, I have no photos, I have no idea what to even take or what should I even, you know, get for my business.
So the most important photos for a business owner are definitely those headshots where they're facing straight, looking at the camera, and they can't be, for example, it's good to have those looking away photos for more dramatic purposes when you're posting content, but for the headshots themselves, when people are getting that first impression of you and your business, you need to be looking at the lens, you need to be smiling with your eyes open, not having them closed, not having those lacking pictures or like smiling and looking away. You need to be looking at the camera and smiling, because when people see your eyes directly and your smile, it mirrors back them smiling at you as well. So that's why it's so important to, if you don't have any pose, just smile directly at the camera. That'll do it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. I know you are currently in the process of getting your YouTube channel started, but let them know where can they follow you, where can they contact you if anybody needs headshots and maybe they have no idea where to even get them.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And you can follow my Instagram at amor_n_photos.rbr, or I do have a Facebook page. It's Photos by Rosa Valentina, and you should find me there. It has my photos, my headshots, as I've been saying. So I hopefully will start my YouTube channel soon. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll have all the links down below. And thank you so much, friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to get makeup on you.
It's okay. Let's do another hug so we can
Okay.
cut it. Thank you. Bye.